watch this video if you can never seem to get up at the same time. So, back in the middle of January this year, I decided that since school was about to start again in about a week, I wanted to start getting up early. I thought I'm not going to have enough time to do all my work, I'm not going to have enough time to do all the videos and still work out. So I started getting up early. So I started getting up at 5 a.m. I was 15, I'm still 15, but this was about 7 months ago. I started getting up at 5 a.m. And so every day I got up at 5 a.m. And for the first few days, it was really easy, that initial sort of motivation, that initial sort of like spark is there. You're like, cool, I'm getting up at 5 a.m, this is awesome, I'm super disciplined, blah, 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 all this stuff. Then after a few days, that sort of initial motivation wears off. It gets a bit harder. I start, my alarm will go off and I'll lay in bed, and then another alarm will go off, and I started setting a bunch of alarms, and it was super hard to get out of bed on time, right? I'd try and get up at 5, and so what I'd do is instead I'd set an alarm for like 4:50, 4:55, 4:58, and so that I could wake up, because I just couldn't get out of bed on time. Let me just adjust this real quick. And so I had an issue getting out of bed at the same time. Now, I'll generally be out of bed by like 5:15, 5:20, but still, that's like 20 minutes of work that I've just missed out on, I just wasted. Then I sort of got over that. I started getting up, my alarm would go off at 4:55, I'd be out of bed at my desk sort of dressed by like 5, right? So a couple minutes, cool, everything's going well. Then it gets to May. I start monk mode, and I start getting up at 4 a.m. I decided for monk mode I was going to get up even earlier. This was about 3.5, 4 months ago now. I'm going to get up even earlier. And again, I had that initial period of, this is cool, it's super motivating, I'm super disciplined, I'm this like warrior. And it was super easy to get up at 4 a.m. for the first few days. Then it got extremely hard. Now when I say extremely hard, I don't mean extremely hard as in I couldn't do it. I was doing it. That is why it was extremely hard. I was getting up, my alarm would go off at 3:55. And my challenge to myself was, alarm will go off at 3:55, and I wanted to be at my desk, out of bed, by 4. I wanted to be up, standing, getting dressed by 4. I had 5 minutes of grace, wake up, you had a few minutes to sort of chill, wake up, and then get out of bed. But I would never do that on time. When I was getting up at 5, I'd always be in bed till 5 past, 10 past, quarter past. So I was like, I need to get up at 4. And it was so hard. And I remember for so long, I was today I was tired. I slept for 5.5 hours last night. But for so long, when I was getting up at 4 a.m, and I was still getting probably an average of 7 hours of sleep a night, just because it was less than I was used to, it was so hard. It was so hard. I was genuinely so tired throughout the day for the first few days, few weeks. Then I adapted. Then it got easier. Here is what you have to do to go from the person who, like me a couple months ago, right, like me 2-3 months ago, or like me 7 months ago, who wants to get up early, who wants to get up and do these things and get up early, whether it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 a.m. Let me just adjust this. There you go. A bit more light. If you want to do these things, what do you have to do? Well, you have to give yourself a reason to wake up early. I gotta adjust this again. Sorry guys, I'm recording later in the afternoon. If I go too far, it's gonna be all terrible. Anyway, this is what I get for recording with no lights. This is actually terrible. My light turned off. I love how I'm doing this during recording the video. Cool, nice, that's better. So I'm there, and it's whatever, let's say January, February, or then we get to June. And I'm getting up early, I'm getting up at this new time, and I can't seem to get out of bed on time, I can't seem to stick to it. I would, if I did get up, a lot of the time I'd scroll on my phone for a bit, or I'd wake up and I'd lay in bed for 15, 20 minutes. I couldn't get up on time. Why was this? This was not because I wasn't disciplined, not because I wasn't motivated, not because I didn't want it, not because I didn't have reasons why, not because I didn't have goals. This was purely because it wasn't a habit, it wasn't part of my routine, it was fresh. It will be the hardest in the first few days, the first few weeks. What you have to know is you have to build a self-strengthening routine, something that's going to support that, right? So if you want to get up at 4 a.m, maybe if you struggle to get up on the first alarm, I do the same thing. I struggle to get up as soon as my alarm goes off. So I'll set 2 alarms for 5 and 10 minutes prior to when I want to wake up. So if I want to wake up at 4 a.m, I'll set an alarm. Generally I'll do 3:55 and 3:58, and that's good. I'm awake, it keeps me awake so I don't go full back to sleep. If that works, that's one thing. That alone, part of the routine, strengthens me trying to get up at 4 a.m, right? Another thing is you want to make it enjoyable. So for me, I get up and I do work blocks, and I'll listen to my music, whatever. But that's hard work, right? Get up, do a work block, right? Get up, and within 15 minutes, be sitting at the laptop working for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and then go to work and do life, right? You have to make it enjoyable. So when I wake up, my routine is get up within about 5 maximum, absolute maximum, like 10 minutes, but generally I try and have 5 minutes. My alarm goes off, within 5 minutes I get up, I get dressed, I drink some water, I go to the kitchen, I boil the kettle, I put on my podcast or my music or whatever to get me going, get me motivated, to wake me up a bit, have my coffee, start work. I enjoy that. I enjoy getting up and having my podcast on and feeling riled up, feeling motivated, drinking my coffee, and I start work at 4 a.m. That is so peaceful. For me, that is amazing. I love doing that. I love getting up early because it's peaceful. So I enjoy it. So the 2 things I've said in this video. Number 1, if you struggle to get up early, you have to build a self-strengthening routine. Your routine must contain more things than just the one thing. If you want to get up at 4 a.m., 4 a.m. can't be the only part of the getting up early routine. The getting up early routine must also consist of going to sleep by whatever, 8, 8:30, 9, 10, whatever time you want to go to sleep. The 4 a.m. routine has to include going to sleep on time the night before. Then the 4 a.m. routine must include a bit of a grace period. So if I want to get up by 4, I set an alarm for 3:55 or 3:50. Cool. Then once I'm up, what do? Well, why do you not get out of bed? When your alarm goes off and you stay in bed, why? It's because you don't want to get up, because you don't want to do what you're going to do when you get up. Maybe it's cold. If you wake up and it's normally cold in the mornings, maybe you get a heater, right? Maybe you have heating. Maybe if you don't have heating, put an extra blanket on your bed. Or you put your clothes right next to your bed so you can just get up and it'll be cold for a few seconds, or you get dressed straight away, and that's problem solved. That's what I do. A lot of times it's cold when I wake up. So I've got an extra blanket on my bed so I'm warm, and I have my clothes hanging over my chair. So as soon as I get up, get dressed, cool, I'm warm, right? You must have a self-strengthening routine, and you must have a routine that is enjoyable to do. You will not be out here getting up straight away and being like, alright, cool, I'm going to get up exactly as the alarm goes off, I'm going to be super productive and it's going to be terrible, but I'm going to do it anyway. That won't last. Now, am I saying get up and do a podcast and chill out and have a relaxation and do a bit of, all this sort of stuff that's going to waste time? No. What I'm saying is give yourself a little bit of leeway, just enough to the point where you can get done what needs to be done, and then cool, right? So for me, as I said, when I get up, get dressed, drink some water, turn on the heating, and then I'll go have a coffee and listen to my podcast or my music or a video, right? And that, I give myself 5 minutes maximum. I'll drink my coffee. Sometimes I won't even do that. I'll just skip that part. Or I'll get up, I'll have the podcast or video playing while I make the coffee, and as soon as the coffee's made, I sit at the table and I drink my coffee while editing. And I can't really listen to podcasts or music while I'm editing, because it's you can't really do that at the same time. You need a self-strengthening routine and a reason that the routine will actually be fun and enjoyable. So that's it for this one. Have an amazing day. My name is Sam. If you don't already know who I am, I'm a 15-year-old content creator and aspiring entrepreneur. Have an amazing day. If you want to see more videos like this, check out the rest of the videos on this channel. Currently posting 2 videos a day. I was posting 2 videos a day for about 2 weeks. Then I fell off for like 4 or 5 days because I got really sick, and then I ran out of videos. Now I'm back posting 2 a day. Right now it's dark, it's really cold. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm shivering. It's quite cold. I'm going to get home. It's like 6:30. If you're interested in vlogs, check out my vlog channel, link in the channel description. And if you're interested in joining a community of young men chasing greatness, trying to become the best possible versions of themselves in all areas of their life, check out the link in the channel description or the video description to my paid school community, The Future Elite. Other than that, have an amazing day. See you in the next one.